Nice crowd. All right, it is time. Are we good? Everyone here that needs to be here? Okay, I'm going to get the show on the road. We are going to start with the Pledge of Allegiance. If everybody wants to stand up. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all for coming out for the January 23rd meeting of the Board of Supervisors. First thing will be announcements. Upcoming township events and programs. I know everybody was going to take their announcements, so go ahead.
I'd be happy to start. The first thing we'd like to announce is the Montgomery Township Police Department 2023 Citizens Police Academy. And I am a proud 2017 graduate of that program, so I would highly recommend it. It is a free program for residents, business owners, or non-residents employed within Montgomery Township. It's an opportunity to learn more about our police department. Includes tours of the police station, the K-9 team. You get to interact with some of the officers and learn how to do a correct car stop, and what some of the officers have to think about while they're out there doing that. The classes will be held Tuesdays starting March 7th from May 9th from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. It is limited to 20 people. So the deadline for registration is February 21st. So anybody out there that wants to register, please go onto the township website and download the application and get that into Rob Johnson.
Excellent. And I will, on behalf of the Environmental Advisory Committee, they will be hosting once again on April 22nd, Saturday from 9 to 12, a recycling day, e-recycling, electronics recycling, anything that has a plug can be recycled. Most things are free of charge. There are a few things harder to recycle, that costs more money to be recycled, may have a nominal fee of $30 to $100. Like for instance, the big furniture type TVs or rear projection TVs might have a more expensive fee. Plus things like dehumidifiers, air conditioners, or microwaves have a $10 fee. But these, we're trying to make it, they're usually sometimes a long line. So we're trying to have people reserve time so that people come at certain times. So there's a registration so you get a time slot that you can come, and hopefully we can have a little bit more streamlined event. So that's again, April 22nd, 9 to 12 at the Windlestray Park on Keenest Road.
Awesome.
I don't know who was going to talk about Kids University. Tanya. Okay. So, Kids University Super Summer Program, it sells out so quickly. People are so thrilled with it every year. So registration will open March 27th at noon. So I would suggest for those who need that or want that, be at your computers. Yes. Anything else announcement wise? Anybody? Is there any public comment? Anything that is not on the agenda that anybody would like to come up and comment on? All right. The announcement of executive session.
Sure. Chair. The Board of Supervisors met this evening at 6:30 p.m. in the Township Building to discuss 1 personnel and 2 litigation matters. The topics discussed are legitimate of an executive session pursuant to the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania Sunshine Law.
All right. Item number 6 on our agenda is the consent agenda. I'm going to move that we approve the consent agenda as presented for the following: minutes of the January 3rd, 2023 board meeting, payment of the bills for January 23rd, construction escrow release 1, and commencement of the 18-month maintenance period for Costco, the gasoline station, LDS 712. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Thank you.
The most fun we have to do tonight is a police promotion. Turn that over to Chief Bendig.
There we go. Good evening. Tonight, it's my honor to present Officer John Russian for consideration for promotion to the rank of sergeant. Later this month, a newly created position will be filled by a sergeant in our organization. As a result of this restructuring, a supervisory vacancy will exist within the department. In October of 2021, a multi-phase promotional process was initiated to establish a list of eligible candidates for promotion to the rank of sergeant. This process included both a written examination and an oral review board. After this highly competitive process, Officer John Russian is recommended for promotion to the rank of sergeant. Officer Russian is a 2012 graduate of the Montgomery County Community College Municipal Police Academy. On December 17th of 2012, Officer Russian was sworn in as a police officer with the Montgomery Township Police Department and assigned to the Patrol Division. Officer Russian currently serves as a field training officer, a firearms instructor, and as officer in charge of his patrol squad in the absence of his sergeant. Officer Russian also serves as an assistant team leader and breaching element leader on the Montgomery County SWAT Central Region team. In 2022, Officer Russian completed his Bachelor of Science degree in Public Safety Administration from Newman University. Throughout his career with the department, Officer Russian has shown exemplary dedication and professionalism in executing his duties. It is with great pleasure that I present Officer Russian to the Board of Supervisors for consideration for promotion to the rank of sergeant for the Montgomery Township Police Department.
All right, I'm going to quickly make the motion so it's all official. I'm going to move to promote Officer John Russian to the rank of sergeant for the Montgomery Township Police Department effective January 24th, 2023.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Congratulations. I think I was new to the board when we hired you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Congrats. You're welcome.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, John. Sure.
Young man was on his grandma.
Here, 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. That's great. Jared, board members. Got everyone in this, we're good. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Good, yeah. There's one more pictures from that picture.
It's very professional. All right, we'll give the room a minute to empty out.
You should lock the doors open.
Exactly. Oh, I thought they were interested in our meeting. Only as long as they had to be.
Our feelings aren't hurt.
But they are leaving.
Okay, we're
I
done.
know. You know, as soon as you see the whole crowd, you know, it's like, all right, so something's going, so that crawled at that.
Right.
And I saw the thing on here,
And I,
but didn't put two and two together until I heard a little bit.
Right.
Earlier.
I know. I know. Wissahickon Creek didn't bring 45 people.
No, it didn't.
Nice.
All right. Sorry, Wissahickon Clean Water Partnership.
I know.
Don't take it personal.
I don't think they're coming back. Don't hold your breath. Can you bring your fanfare?
Come on up.
Yeah.
Next promotion, they'll be
I know.
back.
Yeah. They do it to everyone. Don't worry. It's not you at all.
Carolyn, did you want to give any background, or we're just rolling with it?
Want to announce it? Item number.
Yeah. Sure. So it's item number 8 and Wissahickon Clean Water Partnership presentation.
All right. Good evening. Thank you so much for your time for us to present on the Wissahickon Clean Water Partnership, of which Montgomery Township is a member. So tonight we're going to just give an overview of the status of the project and also some next steps ahead of us. My name is Erin Landis. I'm the Water Programs Manager at Wissahickon Trails. I'm with Brandon Ford here. He is one of the co-chairs of the Water Partnership, as well as the Assistant Manager at Springfield Township. We're going to try to keep this presentation pretty quick tonight as
Thank
well.
you.
Yes, of course. So just a bit of background about what the partnership is. I'm sure most of you are familiar, but I just wanted to give a quick overview. So the partnership is a voluntary collaboration of over a dozen municipalities, including the city of Philadelphia, and the 4 wastewater treatment plants in the Wissahickon watershed. So you can see from the map that over 90% of the area in the watershed is included in the municipalities that are in the partnership. This collaboration is an amazing and unprecedented in this region example of working across municipal boundaries in order to protect a resource that is hugely valuable to us all, the Wissahickon Creek. As we all know, water does not abide by man-made or political boundaries, and so it's critical for us to work together in order to protect the resource that we all appreciate, water. A quick background on why this partnership was created. So the Wissahickon Creek is considered an impaired waterway. Impaired is a regulatory term, meaning that the water quality of the creek does not meet state and federal criteria for a healthy watershed, essentially. So because of that, the creek receives essentially the EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency, sets TMDLs for the creek. TMDL is the total maximum daily load, and you can consider that, some people call it a pollution diet. So a TMDL will be set for a specific pollutant, so that there's a limit on how much of that pollutant can be input into the creek system while the creek still remains healthy. And so in 2015, the EPA set a TMDL for the Wissahickon Creek of phosphorus in order to improve the water quality. However, based on a lot of research and scientific expertise by the partnership, we believe that phosphorus does not control. And so we've created and are proposing an alternative to the TMDL. The alternative is called the Water Quality Improvement Plan. And that's a much more holistic approach to improving water quality in the Wissahickon Creek. There are a ton of additional benefits that the Water Quality Improvement Plan will bring. And Brandon's going to talk more about those.
Yeah, thanks, Aaron. So this is where I chime in with, where it makes sense from an operational standpoint, from a municipality and, a board, of all the communities involved. As Aaron shared, the EPA came down with this TMDL for phosphorus, and that's mandated on each one of our communities. So each one of us will have to pay the piper, so to speak, at one point or another in accordance to the TMDL. Now, instead of doing the TMDL as the EPA prescribes, which focuses very heavily on phosphorus, as Aaron kind of summarized real quickly, the water quality improvement plan is tackles phosphorus, but does a lot more. It's a more holistic approach to dealing with water quality in the watershed. And as you can see, our models, we worked with Temple and a variety of consultants, as you know, to do scientific models as to what the improvements would be if we went with this alternative. And as you can see with that graph, our approach, our alternative, is estimated to produce a lot more area treated over the course of by 2038. The regular historic trend has been 175 acres per year. We project that with a fully implemented water quality plan, we are going to double that to 338 acres per year across the entire watershed. And that's just one of the benefits. As you can see, in addition to resulting in more acres treated, we're talking about a healthier watershed because we're not just talking about phosphorus. We're talking about invertebrates in the stream. We're talking about other pollutants that might stem from one source or another. It's not just about phosphorus. And in terms of the operational standpoint, we advocate that this water quality plan will be a lot easier to implement than what is currently mandated by the EPA. We believe it'll be easier not only for each of us individual municipalities, but us collectively as a whole. It'll be easier to implement because we're tackling this problem on a watershed basis versus an individual basis. And we also believe that it will have reduced costs. So instead of Montgomery Township facing, a bill, it'll be all 13 municipalities and the 4 wastewater treatment plants, facing this, bill. And talking about bills, we do have a couple of accomplishments that we'd like to tote, saying that we've done some stuff since we started this partnership. And, I'm not going to go through every single one, but the big highlight is that the partnership secured $1.5 million in American Rescue Act funds from Montgomery County. So that is $1.5 million that we get to use to implement projects that furthers the goals of the watershed. So that's shovels in the ground, actual projects being done. That's what that $1.5 million will do. And we're working, as a management committee to identify, I think we're down to 4 projects, larger projects than we can individually tackle alone throughout the watershed. Thank you. And kind of just give you an idea as to next steps. We are in the process of finalizing our revised watershed plan. We submitted it once. The EPA and the state agencies gave us some feedback, and we've worked with them. We worked out some differences, let's say, and we are going to be resubmitting that water quality improvement plan to the regulators, the EPA and PADEP, the Pennsylvania Department of Environmental Protection, to get their final blessing. And again, before we submit it to them, each of the communities involved will get to see a draft final plan before we kind of send it to the regulators for final approval. And once we get all that feedback and we get a final plan approved, then we start looking towards implementation. And we've kind of already got a head start in thinking about how our partnership is going to be structured moving forward, because the idea is that it doesn't stop with the plan. The plan does include projects, and we promise the regulators that we're going to do projects on a watershed level. So the focus then shifts to how do we implement this plan. And again, we've already started the ball on that by securing funding for actual projects. And at the end of the day, then we just proceed with the implementation. We get shovels in the ground and we start building projects that improve water quality, not only for your township, but for all the townships involved.
And this is an ongoing process, the implementation piece of it.
Yep, this is ongoing. And DEP and EPA has been, vocal and very adamant about that. And all the townships are, supportive of that as well. We all acknowledge that, stormwater is not going to end. Stormwater is something that's, possibly only going to get worse. And, rather than each of us individually facing that challenge, it's better for us to tackle it as a team or a partnership.
What's the timetable on implementation? I know you said that you've started some things already.
So since this is American Rescue Act funds,
Mhm.
we have until 2026 to spend the 1.5 million. We are finalizing the 4 projects, which we hope to have within the first half of this year. Finalize, what 4 projects that we hope to pursue and implement for that $1.5 million, and hopefully we are able to put shovels in the ground with finalized plans starting in 2024.
Okay. I know that we have the headwaters are here.
Yep.
Right next to the mall parking lot. How interesting. How will that impact our actual portion of, which is just a small little portion, but an important one?
Well, the impact for Montgomery Township is going to be in terms of how the EPA and the DEP sees your fulfillment of that TMDL, phosphorus TMDL.
Mhm.
So by working with the partnership, the EPA and the DEP, who, again, as Aaron said, this is kind of new territory for them.
Mhm.
They've never seen 13 municipalities and 4 wastewater treatment plants really working and integrating their functions like we are currently doing. So they're kind of looking at us with a little bit of hesitation as to will it work? We're confident that it will, but they are also looking to us to model in other watersheds as well. So kind of circling back to how it impacts Montgomery Township, it's how DEP and the EPA see you fulfilling that phosphorus TMDL.
Right. Anybody have any other questions?
The challenge is going to be when the 1.5 million is gone, because
Right.
in theory, and we have been working diligently on this, this is a group of individuals who meet monthly, who are committed to this. And this board has remained committed to stormwater improvements. Not all boards see it that way, especially when you're talking watershed level. It's one thing if I come in and say, here's 4 projects in Montgomery Township and I need funding for them. We need to do this. There's a mandate from EPA who's pushed it down on PADEP. It's another thing to come in and say, we need a commitment of funds and it's going to improve the watershed, but the project is in Ambler Borough or the project is in up Lower Gwinnett. That's why Brandon and Aaron are coming out to talk and sort of get everybody educated, because watersheds do not know municipal boundaries. And if they don't go with this plan, or they think, okay, we'll give you the plan, now we want to see implementation, they will come in with the full authority that they have and go back to their original prescription to fix the watershed. And we don't believe it's achievable even from a scientific standard. There's no technology out there that is going to help us achieve those phosphorus numbers. What we're trying to approach it is the watershed improvement as a whole. So every education piece we do, whether it be with residents, with businesses, but then also what we're doing, we're not just going to address phosphorus. We're going to look at stream bank erosion. We're going to look at, additional basins. We're looking at retrofitting basins, and this goes across all municipalities and the treatment plants, but everybody has to be on board, because it's going to be tough to convince everybody to commit money knowing that it's outside of their jurisdiction, but the burden that's going to fall on us if we don't do this is worse.
And that's an excellent point, Carolyn. Speaking from my conversations with Springfield's board of commissioners, who we're at the tail end of the watershed, and we're pretty fully developed as a community, so there's no room left. So our conversations with our elected officials has been, this is really one of the only options available to us. We can't fit a 50-foot basin in Springfield. It's just not possible without talking about going into private property, which no one wants that in their backyard. So if we are able to work with our partners up the stream, where there is more land, and it helps protect open space that's currently open and green, and kind of switch that with an added benefit of a stormwater, water quality improvement, that's where we're selling it from downstream.
It all makes sense. So, thank you, Aaron. Thank you, Brandon. Appreciate your time and your commitment to educating us and keeping everybody involved.
Absolutely.
We're
And we
happy
will
to
be
share
back.
in that.
We will be back once we kind of get a little bit further in the implementation and what our implementation structure will look like. So, and with that final draft plan. So we will be back.
Just out of curiosity too, the other watersheds, are they also doing this? Like Neshaminy, we also have Neshaminy watershed. Are we going to be hearing from them as well?
They have not been identified the way the Wissahickon has.
Okay.
The only other watershed I think is kind of starting to move this model is the Skippack.
Yes.
But they're kind of where we were a couple years ago. So
Okay.
we're a little ahead of the curve.
Right. Well, hopefully they can learn from you.
Right.
And not reinvent the wheel.
We've had a couple conversations already. So,
Good.
we
Great.
told them what to say to DEP and EPA.
Good. Hopefully they'll listen. Yeah. Good. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, moving on to public safety. We'll pass these things over to our chiefs over there who have some interesting things to tell us. Number 9 would be adopting the 2018 International Fire Code. Chief Wegman.
Good evening. The Commonwealth adopted the 2018 International Building Code earlier this year. As a result of that, we've been working with the Solicitor's Office to adopt the 2018 Fire Code, and we are ready to adopt that code tonight. It has been advertised. This code the adoption will not only allow us to enforce the 2018 International Fire Code, but it will also indicate what standards are needed for fire inspectors to conduct, what standards and certification are needed for fire inspectors to conduct life safety fire inspections in Montgomery Township.
Any questions? Okay. I'm going to move to authorize the adoption of ordinance number 23-332, adopting the 2018 International Fire Code.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Okay. Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. What? Public comment. Is there any public comment? Sorry, I will be better at getting public comment. Item number 10 is adoption of proposed fireworks ordinance. Chief Bendig and Chief Wegman. It's a combined thing.
They're gonna fight it
You
out.
can share.
I'm
They help
following in
share
the
very well.
chief's footsteps here, so can I take it?
Sure.
Okay, thank you, sir. In 2017, the PA legislature passed legislation permitting residents over the 18 to purchase, possess, and use consumer-graded fireworks. Many municipalities and fire service officials expressed concern about this legislation and its impact. In 2002, Act 74 was signed into law, which amended the prior legislation and gave municipalities the power to enact conditions, prohibitions, and limitations on the use and sale of fireworks, provided they do not conflict with this new legislation. The PA Career Fire Chiefs, along with the PA Municipal League, drafted model ordinances for townships and municipalities to consider adopting to limit the use and purchase of consumer fireworks. The chief brought this concern to the Public Safety Committee, which unanimously voted to put some type of ordinance in place limiting our residents' ability to shoot off fireworks in town, seeing that over the last couple of years, we had 2 major house fires and 1 person who was injured. At the December 12th meeting, the Board of Supervisors authored the advertisement and proposed ordinance. The Solicitor's Office has confirmed the ordinance was properly advertised, and we have not received any public comment on this matter.
Interesting. Okay. I'm gonna move to adopt ordinance number 23-333, regulating the use of consumer fireworks and display fireworks.
Second.
Is there any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Thank you so much. Are we gonna communicate that, Derek?
We will, as our detail for,
Good, thank you.
Fire plans on doing a big push as well
Good.
because in the ordinance for the code, we're now mandating that businesses send us their annual fire and sprinkler reports, which is common. So we have to do a good job of marketing that as well. So we'll put something together as well.
Thank you. Great. Item number 11, request authorization to purchase replacement police vehicles. Chief Bendig?
Yes, in 2023, the department is scheduled to replace 2 police vehicles. After researching available models and powertrains, the department proposes purchasing 2 2023 police interceptor utilities and equipment as approved in the final budget. The 2023 Ford Interceptor utilities will replace a 2017 Ford Police Interceptor utility with well over 100,000 miles now and over 6,000 engine hours, and a 2009 Dodge Charger with just over 79,000 miles on them. Due to manufacturer production delays, the department is requesting authorization to place this order for the vehicles at this time. Attach are quotes dated December 26 from Fred Beans Ford Lincoln, an authorized vendor under CoStars, to provide the requested vehicles at a total cost of $79,782. This is 17% off the manufactured suggested price and represents a saving of just over $16,000 to the township. Additionally, there is a quote dated August 24th, 2022 from Havas, an authorized vendor, once again under CoStars, to provide the requested emergency vehicle equipment and installation of such at a total cost of $27,545.43. This represents a savings of over 23% to the township for a total cost of savings of over $8,500. The total cost to replace these 2 police vehicles, including equipment installation, is $107,327.43. A total of $126,000 was included in the 2023 approved final budget under Police Department capital replacement to purchase these vehicles, emergency lighting, and installation. It is recommended the board approve the awarding of these contracts for the reference purchases per the approved budget.
Do we have an estimated delivery date, and will they abide by their contract?
We did learn that the one vehicle is being manufactured. However, the other vehicle is not being manufactured yet, which is kind of surreal that they wouldn't follow each other because their orders replaced at exactly the same time. But we do know one is actually on the line being built. So that's a win.
So these amounts will hold though? I mean, even if they don't get to that second one?
What's that, ma'am?
Will these amounts be the amounts for everything?
Yes,
even if
ma'am.
they- okay.
This is the totality. Yes.
Okay.
All the amounts.
Okay. I'm going to move to award the contract for the purchase of 2 2023 Ford Police Interceptor utility vehicles from Fred Beans Ford Lincoln, an authorized vendor under the CoStars Cooperative Purchase Program, at a total cost of $79,782 per their quote.
Second.
Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Also going to move to award the contract for the purchase and installation of equipment for those vehicles from Havas Incorporated, an authorized vendor under the CoStars Cooperative Purchase Program, at a total cost of $27,545.43 per their quote.
Second.
Any public comment? No. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Let's hope we get our cars.
Thank you.
What would happen if there was like a big pileup and we lost some cars?
We don't want to talk about that. Now, in years past, we've been fortunate enough that if we had a vehicle that was totaled, there were usually vehicles on the lot that we could find, but we'd have to make do until we were able to find something actually. So
What a crazy
it's
world.
unfortunate.
Mhm. All right, now we want to buy guns. Item number 12, authorization to bid for replacement sidearms.
Yes, in our 2023 capital investment plan, the police department proposed the replacing of Glock sidearms carried by our officers at an estimated cost of $50,000. These sidearms were last replaced in 2014. Since that time, the departments have been exposed to extreme conditions, being to show some general wear and tear that comes with 9 years of sidearm qualifications, training, practice with thousands of rounds being put through each sidearm. The department proposes replacing these sidearms with a similar sidearm holster, as well as a sighting system that will significantly improve the accuracy. Unfortunately, this item is not available to be purchased on CoStars. So per the 2023 Pennsylvania bidding thresholds, purchases and contracts over $22,500 require formal bidding. It is recommended the board authorize staff to prepare and advertise bid specifications for the replacement of these sidearms.
Anybody have any questions on this?
Do we currently have sighting systems on sidearms?
We do not, ma'am. This is something that's over the past few years has started to come about. We wanted to sit back and see if this was something that would be sustainable and actually kind of become a prevalent thing in law enforcement. And actually, it's very popular. It actually is very good. It actually improves the officer's sighting and ability to gain a target should that happen. But I believe the sheriff as well is going to be doing that as
Yeah,
well.
if I may comment, putting on my other hat, the chief is absolutely right. Other agencies have moved to this, I think Upper Dublin and other places like that. Because we met with them, we're thinking of doing the same thing in next year's budget. And I've gone through several demonstrations, and I can attest exactly what Chief said. As a person that's an average shot, it makes me a much better shot. So
Yes.
the insurance liability, from insurance liability standpoint too, it's good for the township.
Very much so.
Is there any trade-in value to our current sidearms that like the dealer takes back, or how does that?
So there is that piece of it. We have proposed, working with the finance director, we're working on putting together a bid. As part of that bid would be us requiring that they do buy back the current firearms that we have. There would be a window where we would have both and enable our department to transition and then turn them over to the vendor for their resale or whatever they decide to do.
Historically, what's the length of time that one of these Glocks would, people keep them around for? We've had them for 9 years, but is that normal or?
That's about the time. I know I replaced them in 2013, shortly after I became chief. So we're right around that time period. Unfortunately, with this sighting system, the one thing we've realized is that just like everything else, that's a great thing, but unfortunately it's not going to fit the gun. So that was kind of part of the equation. Once we had researched this fully and realized that this would be the appropriate time to pivot and start to integrate this technology into our weaponry, and just seemed the best point.
Okay. I'm going to move to authorize staff to prepare and advertise bid specifications for the replacement of sidearms.
Second.
Any public comment? Yes, sir. Come up, state your name, your address. For real.
Hi, Vince Tulio, 101 Glasgow Circle, full disclosure, and that's my wife. I just have a question for the chief. On the old sidearms, when they're traded in, the township gets a hold harmless. This way, there's no, God forbid, one of those misfire and someone gets hurt after they're traded in. There's no liability aspect back to the township.
Correct. We actually will turn them into the federal firearms dealer. So we pretty much, they do not become our firearms anymore. So we are good to go
once
there.
that day happens, we're off the hook.
Or you're off the hook.
Good.
Correct, sir.
We like that. Thank you for
Yes.
looking out for us. Any other public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Thank you. Next, we're going to go into planning and zoning. Number 13 is review of zoning board hearing applications. Carolyn?
Thank you. In your packet this evening is an agenda for the next zoning hearing board meeting, which is going to be held on February 1st here in the public meeting room. There is a residential application for 112 Shriner Drive, as well as an application for the proposed Krispy Kreme donuts, which will be where the Applebee's was in front of the Barnes and Noble at Knapp Road and 309. The applicant in the case of Krispy Kreme is proposing to put signage in related to their drive-through operations, and they need a variance, and the applicant at 112 Shriner Drive is looking to construct a pool and pool decking along the side, from the side of their property, abutting Gordon Lane.
Sounds to me like something the zoning hearing board can handle. Does anyone
Agree.
think we should? I agree. All good?
Yep.
Thank
Okay,
you.
Thank you. Number 14, consider applications for 2022 Tree City USA recertification and growth award. Tanya's liaison. Mary Ann, did you want to speak on that?
It's the annual application that we do for the Tree City USA recertification from Montgomery Township. We've received it the last 25 years. We do need to make for certain criteria which we have met again this year. Through the Arbor Day Foundation, and the growth award is the second step for the application. We've done that for 21 out of the last 25 years of that criteria. There are specific categories and points that need to earn for that growth award. Hopefully, we accept the application and approve that.
25 years, that's great. Anyone have any questions or comments?
And this is correct with 2022, even though we're in 2023. How does that?
For work done in 2022.
Mhm.
The project's completed. And it's not just the shade tree prevention and DAC work, it's also compiling the growth report, which helps us gain points for those categories.
We did some nice work last year, so hopefully they approve that and like it. Okay. I'm going to move to approve the application for Montgomery Township to receive the 2022 Tree City USA recertification and 2022 Growth Award. Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you. Next will be our Public Works section. And it's so nice to have Greg back. So nice to have you. So number 15, request authorization to purchase replacement trucks. Tell us all about it.
Okay. Good evening. In 2023, the Public Works Department is scheduled to replace 4 vehicles. At this time, the Public Works Department is proposing to purchase the following from Whitmore Auto Group, who is an authorized vendor under the CoStarz Cooperative Purchase Program. The contract number is provided there to provide the requested vehicles at a total cost. The date quoted was 1/13 of 23. I'll just do it A, B, C, and D. Truck A, they're all 2023s. Crew cab truck for $63,453. Truck B would be a dump truck, which would be $68,800. There's another small dump in there at $58,953 or $950. And then another crew cab truck, which would be $73,450. From Triad Truck Equipment, an authorized vendor under the CoStarz purchasing program. Their contract number is also listed there to provide the requested dump body, snow plow, salt spreader, and installation of all that to be included in on that, which the quoted date is 1/18 of 23. Truck A would be $92,242. Truck B would be $70,670. Truck C would be $70,670. And truck D would be $92,242. The total cost to replace these trucks, including equipment and installation, would be truck A at $155,692. Truck B would be $139,470. Truck C would be $129,620. And truck D would be $165,692. The equipment meets the specifications prepared by the Public Works Department. The 2023 Whitmire trucks will replace the following. Truck A is a 2007 Ford F-550 with 47,154 miles. Truck B is a 2008 Ford F-550 truck with 57,867 miles. Truck C is a 2011 Ford 550 truck with 52,182 miles. And truck D is a 2002 Ford F-550 truck with 85,671 miles. A total of $636,000 was included in the 2023 capital investment plan for the purchase of 4 trucks, dump bodies, snow plows, and salt spreaders. It would be our recommendation at this time that the Board of Supervisors approves award-winning the contracts for the referred purchases as per the 2023 capital plan.
So quick question.
Sure.
Average person would think these trucks don't have that many miles. Why do we need to get rid of them?
Correct. One of the things that's different with our trucks, I'm going to say, the snow plowing. The snow plowing is very hard on the trucks. The trucks just don't hold up as a normal vehicle that you're not snow plowing and salting with. All of these trucks have snow plows and salt, and they all salt. And it takes a toll. It really does. It takes a toll on the vehicles.
Makes sense.
The one truck was scheduled to be replaced last year, but as we know with the supply issues, they weren't available.
So do they need to make these trucks for us? Are they available? When might we get them?
That's up in the air.
Okay.
That's up in the air. They have so many build slots. I'm not sure of any of the logistics when they would be coming in. Their timeline, if we would see them by the end of the year, we would probably be very lucky. And that's not to say they're not going to cancel some orders too.
Do we have any guarantee that the prices are going to stay as they are? They could just cancel that.
As
too.
long as they don't cancel the order, I'm going to say they should stay the same. But if they cancel the order, we've been hit with other charges in the past that we weren't expecting, that we figured the price was locked in, and they don't honor it. So I would like to say that we are, but
we'll hope.
That's all subject to change.
Anybody else have any questions?
So I know last year we had some issues when we came to snow plowing and whatnot. Are these trucks going to keep us through the next however many months till we get the new ones, or are we where are we with them?
I would say we're in pretty decent shape. We're doing what we need to. One of the trucks in particular is getting to that point where it's going to be needing some body work, and we should be able to get through with them. That's our plan. So
here's to hoping.
We're making it work.
I'm trying to keep up with Chief Wegman and his spending on trucks. Sorry, Bill.
All right. Well, here's to hoping that they actually come in and they're at the prices that we are agreeing to pay. All right. I'll move to award the contracts for the purchase of 4 2023 vehicles from Whitmire Auto Group, an authorized vendor under the CoStarz Cooperative Purchase Program, at a total cost of A, $63,450, B, $68,800, C, $58,950, and D, $73,450 per their quotes dated January 13, 2023, and move to award the contract for the purchase and purchase of and installation of the dump body, snow plow, salt spreader, and installation from Triad Truck Equipment, an authorized vendor under the CoStar's Cooperative Purchase Program at a cost of A, $92,242, B, $70,670, C, $70,670, and D, $92,242 per their quote dated January 18th, 2023. Is there a second?
Yeah.
Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Another truck. Let's go again.
Yes, here we go
Number
again.
16.
Okay, in 2023, the Public Works Department is scheduled to replace a Ford 550 bucket truck. The Public Works Department is proposing to purchase one 2023 Ford 550 bucket truck from Whitmore Auto Group as approved in the 2023 Capital Investment Plan. The 2023 Whitmore Auto Group bucket truck will replace the following vehicle. It's a 2012 Ford 550 with 76,069 miles. Attached is a quote dated January 13th of 23 from Whitmore Auto Group, an authorized vendor under the CoStar's Cooperative Purchasing Program, to provide the requested vehicle at a total cost of $216,625. A total of $210,000 was included in the 2023 capital investment plan for the purchase of the truck, body, and lift. So it would be our recommendation that the Board of Supervisors approves the awarding of the contract for the reference purchase per the 2023 capital investment plan.
Kind of an expensive night you're having.
I know it is. It is.
Welcome back. Thanks for coming tonight.
Yes.
Well, again, we'll hope that we're able to get this and pay the price as agreed to. Anybody have any other questions on all these nice trucks we're getting? I'm gonna move. Go ahead.
That vehicle was also supposed to be replaced last year
Mhm.
in 2022 and the carryover again. So the other thing I will say on the body of that truck, it's going to be prolonged. We've been told that the waiting period for that is we're going to be looking probably towards the end of 24. So it is going to be some time before that comes in and is ready to go.
Must be nice to be a Ford dealer. All right, well, I'll move to award the contract for the purchase of one 2023 Ford F-550 bucket truck from Whitmore Auto Group, an authorized vendor under the CoStar's Cooperative Purchase Program, at a total cost of $216,625 per their quote dated January 13, 2023. Is there a second?
Second.
Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion passes.
Thank you.
Okay. No more trucks for a while, anyone? All right, we're gonna go into administration and finance. Number 17, ratification of real estate tax appeal settlement on 119 Garden Golf Boulevard. Brian Shapiro.
Yes, good evening. The taxpayer at 119 Garden Golf Boulevard, which is a Staybridge Suites and a Hampton Inn and Suites, had an appeal for the property tax for the 2021 tax year. The assessed value at that location was a little over 12 million. Based upon the application of common level ratio, the implied market value for the property for the 2021 tax year would be over 26.8 million. On September 18, 2020, the taxpayer presented information to the Board of Assessment Appeals, and they adjusted the assessed value of the property to 10.5 million. Based upon the applicable common level ratio, relying on the adjusted assessed value of the property, implied market value for the property for 2021 tax year would be 22.5 million and some change. Based on the proposed settlement, the taxpayer will immediately receive a refund of $2,480.85 for the 2021 tax year and a refund of $5,186 $67 for the 2022 tax year. The assessment for the property will be decreased by $7.5 million for the 2023 tax year. The solicitor's office has reviewed the proposed settlement and recommends the Board of Supervisors approve the settlement.
Okay, anybody have any questions? Seems like we have no choice. I will move to approve the stipulated settlement for 119 Garden Golf Boulevard and authorize the township solicitor to execute the document on behalf of the township. Is there a second?
Second.
Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Number 18, purchase of furniture for planning and zoning department. Carolyn McCreary.
Thank you. In the capital investment plan for 2023, which is also included in our proposed budget, we were looking to replace 5 workstations within the planning and zoning department. The current furniture was actually put in here when the building was constructed. It is, besides being dated, is very worn and in some instances beginning to fall apart. So as part of our refurbishing the planning and zoning department, which also is going to incorporate digitizing records, putting carpet in, we want to get the furniture ordered, and Lizelle's gave us a quote of $13,059, and we had included $15,000 in our budget for 2023. So tonight I'm asking the board to approve the purchase.
I'm so happy we can give our business to a local in the township business. Very good. Anybody have any questions?
And take care of Mary Ann with her furniture.
I'll move to approve the quote from Lizelle in the amount of $13,059 for the replacement of office furniture in the planning and zoning department. Is there a second?
Second.
Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
She should have asked for a truck.
Yes, we do not have to pick it up.
We have no more money for automobiles, so don't ask. I'm
Chop it
sure
up.
there's some
Dumpsters
resource
out
for
back.
that.
She's looking at Greg.
All right, so new business department reports.
So in
Anybody
your
have any comments or questions on the reports?
In your packet, you should have reports from all the departments for the month of December. And has been past practice, tonight we are going to hear from Derek Muller, our Public Information Coordinator, to give you an update on our social media presence, as well as the township website, which is being overhauled, and our newly formed communications team.
Thank you. Thanks for having me tonight. Rick, should I just change out the file here? It's on here. Here we are.
Is that what Mary Ann's new furniture is going to look like?
That's nice, right? So as Carolyn mentioned, I'm going to update you on 3 things. We're going to start with our social media update. There's going to be a lot of graphs here. They're for reference. If I see anything that's really interesting to point out, I'm going to move through pretty quickly. So if I move a little too fast, just stop me if you have a question. So our social media manager that we use is called sociality.io, and it provides some really nice reports, a lot more than what you're going to see tonight. Different kinds of details. There's summaries for every social media channel. What you're seeing here is how we did in 2022 as a whole on just our township Facebook page. So you'll see there's some really good engagement going on. You'll see that people have continued to follow our page steadily throughout the year. To kind of break down month by month, you'll see throughout the year we gained 280 followers there, and I'll say something more about that in a little bit. But what I'm really interested in is the engagement. It's one thing for people to hit a button to follow you, but it's important people are actually paying attention to what you're putting out there and engaging. So I think these are really promising numbers. You'll see similar graphs for our Instagram. Again, steady growth, steady engagement. LinkedIn's really interesting because what you're going to see is we have 183 followers, but what's pretty interesting is whereas there are maybe like 4,000 or 5,000 engagements on Facebook. You're seeing over 11,000 engagements here. LinkedIn is a really great place for professionals to see what's going on, as our audience of other townships is, businesses who may want to work with us, contractors, etc. So that's a really great place for people who I think are very tuned into what's going on with local government and business. Twitter, everyone knows that there's kind of a debate on what's going on with Twitter right now. It's still pretty healthy for us. You'll see there's a bit of a decline going on, so keep an eye on that. And then our Community Recreation Center has Facebook and Instagram. You'll see that the Community Recreation Center has more people following it than our township does. I think it's because it's a more specified subject, and I think people are really looking to see what's going on at that facility. They're like seeing what the people are up to, what the participants are up to, what's going on fitness-wise, and you're going to get more people than just the people who are in our township, because we are one of the only community centers in a pretty large area. Then Instagram was just launched, so we're still kind of working on that, but you'll see steady growth. And then the police department, Adriana Silberto does a great job helping me with this. You'll see they are also very much followed, and they have high engagement. Again, people look for certain things on the police page, and they do an excellent job of keeping everyone updated on the community events going on and what's going on in the department. That's a pretty quick social media update. Any questions on that before we move on to what I say is probably the main event of tonight? We've been working with eGov over the last about 6 months or so. That didn't come up today. Rich, is there a way to get the screen up? Thank you. We've worked with eGov for about 6 months, and they've provided us with a sandbox of our new site. As you can see from the get-go, it's very clean, modern looking. I'm going to start with the front page. So what you see off to the side here, as we discussed before, people on their phones can go into this menu. They can hit that phone icon. It does call our front desk directly. It also has links to email general info, and then all of our main township social media channels. We've reevaluated these buttons here to reflect what people are looking for the most when they come to our website. As you'll see, Connect with Us will be where people can find information, township projects. We have a lot of park projects going on. That also includes road projects, anything that we would consider a township project. We can provide updates there. Codes and permits is a big one. Boards, commissions, committees. Some feedback we've gotten from our boards and commissions is it's hard to find their pages, so we kind of put those front and center. Emergency management, and then parks and recreation. This is going to be sort of a tagline for us, and then just welcome message. We have recent news, upcoming events. We have a bunch of groups calendar interface going on here. Those black dots are where things are currently scheduled. And then if you click more events, you'll see a nice calendar layout as opposed to what used to be just a document center. Which, if you don't know what that is, you're lucky. Very hard to get around. We're working on a few things still, obviously restructuring content. But up here, we did move some things over to government, kind of, again, key things people are looking for when they think of government. Departments, it has its own tab here. Community. Events. And there's a big how do I section. Again, we're still working on that, but I think that these are some pretty common things people are looking for overall. And then just to give you a peek behind at a page that I would say is much improved. Let me just copy this before we move on. I've worked with Mary Ann McConnell quite a bit to make this page user-friendly. Planning and zoning is a very cumbersome department because of all the forms and everything. So if you give a second. So I'm working on the final layout still, but the idea here is, again, make it more accessible. If you're looking for residential permits, just put them on the page. There's no need to go into, like I said, what's called the document center, try to decipher how that works, was try and make it very easy for people to find things.
Does the search feature, like if somebody logs on and they know they want a building permit, if they put that into the search, will that take them to the right place?
So we're working with eGov to enhance the search. Right now it has what's called Smart Search, which is great if you know what you're looking for. We're trying to get them to work with us on a hybrid where you can also press enter and come up with forms that you may be looking for. So you know how like Google, right? You might search, I don't know, building permit. You'll find roofing permits, whatever. Currently it has to be exactly worded as building permit. We're trying to get it to be that if you typed in, residential permit, they'll show you pretty much all of those options. So that's work in progress.
Okay.
Is there anything you want to see in particular with this site? Not, I can move on to.
Looks great.
Thank you. And we're hoping to launch that. I'm hoping early February. We're working on a few last minute things with eGov, so we'll see how that goes. We'll keep you updated. And then the last thing I wanted to talk about tonight is a newer initiative that is going to be starting this Friday. It's called the Communication Team. The idea behind that is to increase collaboration between departments. And it runs on the idea that by enhancing internal communication, you enhance external communication. So I was going to read the purpose of that. The communication team is formed to empower designated department staff with the tools and knowledge to create content that represents their departments as they wish to be represented in alignment with Montgomery Township's mission, vision, and values. This will be accomplished through collaboration with the Public Information Coordinator with the following objectives in mind: clarifying communication and public information processes, understanding what public information means for each department, developing communication and publicity strategies for projects, holding trainings and workshops to give designated staff more confidence in providing content, generating ideas to enhance communication, and determining best tools for communication and the best practices for using them. So this collaboration is already happening, which is great. It's just a matter of sometimes, we get caught up in our jobs and our work, and we kind of forget that, what we do is important. So I'm hoping by kind of routinely meeting with representatives from each department, number one, we can kind of go, okay, right, we should be sharing that out and enhancing our community engagement and humanizing departments. And number two, there may be staff members in departments who have the urge to create, and I'd like to help them explore that. That's my update for tonight.
Great. Thank you for being so helping for those people that might want to create. It's great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Eric.
And then we would have committee reports. This is where we give you guys updates on what's happening in our committees. Planning Commission did not have a meeting this month, so I don't have a report. Do you want to start?
Sure. I actually missed the Community Recreation Center meeting. My mother had a slight emergency, but I did talk to Floyd, and apparently December was one of our busiest months with attendance since we opened the place, so that was good to hear. And then we did have the public safety meeting. You've already seen the fireworks ordinance and the fire inspection ordinance that went through. snow equipment we discussed a little bit, and we talked about that with trucks tonight. So I feel like we're repeating everything again as well.
All right.
The only meeting that I've had so far this month, although I have 2 more meetings this week upcoming, was a business development partnership, which is a very interesting collaboration of local businesses. And one of the things that they were talking about quite a bit is an increase in fraud and so forth coming out of which I'm sure we know about, but such an increase there's, I guess, skimmers coming out on ATMs. So people need to keep their eyes open for this, as well as some increased check washing things like this that are happening. So there's all kinds of people that I'm like, can you just get a job? Like, there are better ways to make money. But apparently there are people that are out there trying to rip
Scam
off
everyone.
people, and it's happening pretty widespread. So they just were giving us some caution, which I think was important to share with the community as well. So, but other than that, apparently business has been brisk for many of the, things are picking up post-COVID, hopefully. And so people are feeling optimistic as things move into the new year.
Good to hear.
And seniors, we didn't meet in December. They did just have a meeting last week, but I had an emergency, so I was not at the meeting and have not gotten updates yet on what took place.
Okay. Anything else anybody wants to talk about? All right. Everybody wants to go home then. Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Everybody have a good night. Go birds. And go birds. One more.
2 more.
One more. One at a
2 more.
time. One at a time.
Yeah,
It's a jinx. One at a time.
Okay. All right. All right.
We're gonna make it to the second one.
I have.
I'm looking at it one at a time.